Hello my dear students, how are you? Hope you all are doing good at your home. So in our previous video we have discussed about the constituents of the circulatory system. We had a discussion over the composition and function of blood, but in this video we are going to discuss about the structure of human heart. So in this video we will have an introduction to the human heart. We will find out the location of human heart in the human body. We will discuss the function of heart. We will discuss the structure of human heart. We will also discuss the type of circulation, and in the end we will discuss about the interesting facts about the human heart. So are you ready? So let's learn more about the human heart. The human heart is one of the most important organ responsible for sustaining life. It is essentially a muscle. It is essentially a muscle about the size of a clenched fist. Okay, so in this video you can easily see that the heart is made up of a specialized cardiac muscle that allows it to act as a pump within the circulatory system. In this video, you can clearly observe how our heart is working as a machine to pump the blood throughout our body. The heart is located in the chest cavity right between the lungs. Two-thirds of the heart is positioned slightly toward the left in the thoracic region, and it is covered by a double layer which is known as pericardium layer. Between these two layers of the pericardium, a special kind of fluid is present which is known as pericardial fluid. Now we are going to discuss about the function of heart. The function of heart in any organ is to maintain a constant flow of the blood throughout the body, which replenishes oxygen and circulates nutrients, hormones and other components to the various parts of the body. Now we are going to discuss about the structure of human heart. Dear students, this is very important topic, so kindly pay your attention to understand this topic in a very easy manner. So the human heart is separated into four chambers, namely the two upper chambers are called auricles or atria and the lower chamber are called the ventricles. But in this diagram you cannot see these chamber. So to see the four chamber of the heart, we need to see the anatomy of the heart. We need to go through the internal structure of the heart. So here in this diagram, it is an internal structure which is known as anatomy of the heart. So in this diagram, you can clearly see that there are four chambers. This first chamber, which is the right atrium. This is the second chamber, which is called the left atrium. So this is the area of the first chamber, right atrium. This is the area of the second chamber, which is the left atrium. Here this is the right ventricle, which is the third chamber. Okay, so this area is called the right ventricle, and this is the our last chamber, which is the fourth chamber of the human heart, which is known as the left ventricle, this area. So human heart has totally four chambers. Okay, let's learn about the different parts of the human heart also. Okay, so are you ready? So as we can see that this diagram is labeled. So this is the aorta, which is the longest artery. This is the pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary veins. These are 4 in numbers, 2 at the left and 2 at the right. This is the mitral valve. Okay, this is aortic valve. This is the left ventricle, right ventricle, inferior vena cavae, tricuspid valve, pulmonary valve, right atrium, pulmonary veins, superior vena cavae. These are the important part of the heart. But we are going to discuss now what is the role of these parts. So pulmonary vein, we are going to start this structure from the pulmonary veins. So pulmonary veins are 4 in number. As I already told you that these are attached with the left atrium from both the side, left as well as from the right side, but they are coming from the lungs. They are coming from the lungs. So as they are coming from the lungs, they are carrying oxygenated blood. They are carrying oxygenated blood. My dear student, you must have an idea about the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood is a kind of blood which is rich in oxygen. Deoxygenated blood is a kind of blood which is rich in the carbon dioxide. So pulmonary veins are carrying oxygenated blood from the lungs and they pour this blood into the left atrium. Okay, so left atrium receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs, as I told you, by the help of pulmonary veins. When this left atrium get fully filled with the oxygenated blood, this blood will transfer or lower down or passes down to the left ventricle. So when left ventricle get filled, okay, this pumps the oxygenated blood to the body via aorta. So this blood, when this is fully filled with the oxygenated blood, then the same blood will be transferred to the various body part through the aorta. This is the aorta. Okay, so from aorta this blood will transfer into the various body part, which is the longest artery of the body. But so to the body tissue, so this aorta will help us to transfer the oxygenated blood to the body tissue. Okay, keep this thing in your mind. So mitral valve is a kind of bicuspid valve which remain present between the atrium and ventricle. So that is why it is also known as atrioventricular valve. Next kind of valve which is present in the left side of the heart is aortic valve. Okay, this remain present inside the aorta. So this is also known as semilunar valve. Let's go to the right side of the heart. So here superior vena cavae and inferior vena cavae. These are the kind of veins that brings the deoxygenated blood back to the heart. So superior vena cavae collect the deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body, while the inferior vena cavae collects the deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body. So after collecting the blood, they pour this deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. So right atriums receive the deoxygenated blood from the body through the help of superior and inferior vena cavae. So when this right atrium get filled with the deoxygenated blood, so the same blood will transfer or will passes down to the right ventricle. From here, so right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs with the help of the pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery carry the deoxygenated blood to the lungs where the whole blood get the oxygen back, okay, for its oxygenation. And the same thing, this vein also has a valve which is known as pulmonary valve or semilunar valve. So are you clear with the each and every component of the human heart? Next, so the right part and the left part of the heart gets separated through a muscular wall which is known as septum. So septum is a muscular wall that remain present throughout the heart and separate the heart into two parts. A right part which is filled with the deoxygenated blood and the left part which is filled with the oxygenated blood. Student, let me show one thing to you. These labels I have written here, these labels with the blue marking, while these labels are written here with the red marking. Red denotes the oxygenated blood, while the blue color denotes the deoxygenated blood, means the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide concentration, and the oxygenated blood is rich in the oxygen concentration. Next, we will talk about the double circulation. The way blood flows in the human body is unique and it is quite efficient too. The blood circulates through the heart twice. The blood circulates through the heart twice. Hence it is called the double circulation. Okay. Other animals like fish have the single circulation where the blood completes a circuit through the entire animal only once. Okay, so as you can see in this diagram, here the blood only completes one circle. So this is the single circulation. This is a type of single circulation. But in this image, you can see that blood flows twice through the human body to complete one circle. That is why it is called double circulation. Now we should understand the concept of double circulation in detail. So through this diagram we will try to understand the process of double circulation. We will start from the label 1. So label 1 is the right ventricle. As you already know that right ventricle is filled with the deoxygenated blood. That is why it is the same area is marked with the blue color. So when this deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle will pass on to the both lungs through the second marking, which is the pulmonary artery. So pulmonary artery carry this deoxygenated blood to the lungs for the oxygenation. So third marking are our lungs. Okay, so third label means lungs. So from the lungs the oxygenation of blood get completed. After the oxygenation of blood, the pure blood means oxygenated blood from the pulmonary veins. So fourth one is what? Pulmonary veins. So through the pulmonary veins the oxygenated blood get filled into the left atrium. So fifth label is our left atrium. So from the left atrium this will pour down into the sixth label, into the sixth label, which is the left ventricle. So what happened to this oxygenated blood into the left ventricle? Left ventricle pushes this blood to the whole body part through the aorta. So this is our seventh label, which is the aorta. So from the aorta this oxygenated blood will transport to the whole body, means the lower part of the body as well as the upper part of the body will get the oxygenated blood by the help of aorta. When this oxygen get utilized by the body tissue or body part and the carbon dioxide is generated into the body tissues, then this carbon dioxide get absorbed back into the blood and the blood will become the deoxygenated due to the high concentration of the carbon dioxide. So from the different body part, from the lower as well as upper body part, this deoxygenated blood will transfer back into the right auricle from the superior vena cavae as well as inferior vena cavae. So ninth is the superior vena cavae. Here the ninth level is inferior vena cavae. So from the superior and inferior vena cavae, the deoxygenated blood will get back into the heart again the second time, but this time in the deoxygenated form. So from here it will transfer down to the right ventricle from where the blood had started its journey. So in this way blood completed one circle, but during this completion it reached two times to the heart, one in the oxygenated form, and the second time it reached to the heart in the deoxygenated form. So this is called that is why it is called the double circulation. So we will discuss few more points about the double circulation. Double circulation is categorized into two types. First is pulmonary circulation, okay, and the second type of the double circulation is systemic circulation. So what is the difference between pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation? The circulation of blood between the heart and lung is called pulmonary circulation. So the circulation of blood between the heart and the lungs is called pulmonary circulation, while the circulation of blood between the heart and different body parts is called the systemic circulation. So the circulation between the body parts and heart is known as systemic circulation. So double circulation is subdivided into two phases or two steps, which is the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So pulmonary circulation. First we will talk about the pulmonary circulation. The blood flows from the right ventricle into the lungs, get oxygenated and then return to the left auricle through the pulmonary vein. This type of circulation is called pulmonary circulation. So you can clearly see that, so pulmonary circulation will start from the right ventricle. So this is the right ventricle. From the right ventricle it will reach to the lungs by the help of pulmonary artery, and after reaching to the lungs it will be oxygenated. After the oxygenation, the pure form of blood will return again to the left atrium by the help of pulmonary veins. Okay, so this was our pulmonary circulation. Now we will discuss about the systemic circulation. The systemic circulation of the blood flows from the left ventricle to the body parts and return to the heart in the right auricle through the superior and inferior vena cava. So this is our left ventricle. So systemic circulation will start from this area. So from the left ventricle, aorta carries the oxygenated blood to the different body parts, and from here, from the different body parts, the deoxygenated blood will return back into the right atrium. So from the left ventricle to the body part, and then from the body part to the right atrium, this was the systemic circulation. Hope you get this concept in an easy way. So we will jump on the next concept, which is the interesting facts about the human heart. So first fact about the human heart is that the human heart functions throughout a person's lifespan, pumping almost 200 million liters of blood. This is our second important interesting fact, that a human heart roughly beats 2.5 billion times during the human lifespan, making it one of the most robust and hardest working muscle in the human body. So isn't it amazing? So we will discuss the next interesting fact, which is the youngest person to receive the heart surgery was only a minute-old baby. She had a heart defect that many babies don't survive. Okay, so this was our third interesting fact. We will move on to the next interesting fact about the human heart. The American pygmy shrew is the smallest mammal but it has the fastest heartbeat, which is 1200 beats per minute. So thank you very much. Hope you will like this video. Thanks again.